the birth of Cain and Abel. In the dawn of humanity, when the earth was still young and the marks of creation were fresh, Adam and Eve inhabited the Garden of Eden. After being expelled from that place of delight, life outside the paradise was hard and filled with challenges. However, their mutual love and the hope for a prosperous future provided them with comfort. One day, Eve felt the arrival of a new life. It was a moment of anticipation and excitement, as the woman who had been created from her husband's rib would now bring their first child into the world. Adam, upon learning this, was filled with joy and fear. He remembered God's warnings about disobedience and the loss of Eden, but the desire to be a father outweighed any unease. Eve, for her part, was filled with love and longed to see the face of her baby. When the day arrived, Eve gave birth to a boy, and Adam and Eve's home was filled with a new glow. She named him Cain, which means I have acquired a son by the grace of the Lord, exclaimed Eve with tears of joy. Adam, radiant with happiness, held his son in his arms, feeling the fragility of life, but also the promise of a new beginning. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Cain grew, and with him, the curiosity to explore the world around him. Adam taught him how to care for the land, to cultivate the fields, and to work with his hands. Eve, with maternal love, told him stories about the Garden of Eden, the beauty of the fruit trees, and the delight of the rivers that flowed with pure water. Each day, little Cain learned something new and absorbed the knowledge from his parents. Years passed, and one day, while Eve was once again expecting a child, Cain witnessed another birth. This time, his brother Abel entered the world. Eve named him Abel, which means breath or vanity. From the very first moment, Cain felt a strange sense of competition and rivalry toward his younger brother. Although they shared the same blood and the same home, human nature is often marked by comparisons. While Cain dedicated himself to agriculture, tilling the land and harvesting its fruits, Abel found his passion in caring for sheep. Each day, the two brothers immersed themselves in their respective tasks. Cain strived to cultivate the best crops, always desiring his parents' recognition. Abel, for his part, meticulously cared for his sheep, always looking for the best among his flock. Over time, the day came when both brothers were to present offerings to God. Cain, proud of his work in the field, brought the fruits of his harvest, while Abel, with love and devotion, offered God a lamb from his flock, the most beautiful one he could find. When God looked at the offerings, he accepted Abel's but rejected Cain's. This decision plunged Cain into deep frustration and jealousy. Abel's acceptance wounded him to his core. The following days were dark for Cain, his heart filled with resentment, and the shadow of his anger darkened his relationship with his brother. One afternoon, while they were in the field, Cain could no longer contain his fury. He raised his voice, blaming Abel for his preference before God. In a fit of rage, Cain, driven by envy and despair, committed the most atrocious act. He murdered his brother. The earth turned red, and the echo of the crime resonated in his heart. Cain realized the magnitude of his actions and felt the weight of guilt. God, seeking Abel, confronted Cain, asking, "Where is your brother?" Cain, filled with fear, replied with disdain, "I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper?" The encounter with God was decisive. Cain's curse led him to wander the earth, marked by his sin. However, the story speaks not only of Cain's tragedy, but also of the opportunity for redemption and the call to responsibility. Adam and Eve, though deeply hurt by Abel's loss, continued forward, teaching their other children about the value of life and the importance of choosing good over evil. Thus, the tale of Cain and Abel's birth became a warning about the dangers of envy and anger, reminding humanity of the need for love and reconciliation. The lives of Adam and Eve, marked by their decisions, became a testimony of hope that still endures in the hearts of those who seek light amid darkness.